All right, let's talk about cleanup and storage. So I am not finished clearly with this, right? And so I want to wrap this up. It's the end of class and I've got to go to my next class and I'm not going to work on this for another couple days. So really important, since it's air dry clay, that we wrap this up appropriately. So let me show you how to do that. First things first, if you have extra clay you haven't used, even little bits that you carved out, you want to put it back in your good bag. If it's feeling kind of dry, you can just dip your hands in water and just get it a little slimy wet before you put it back in your bag. And then remember, when we close our bag, you want to close it tight, which means I can twist it and then lay it like this, or I can twist it and put my, I can put my closure back on. These are really frustrating to me. So you could find something else, or as long as you're setting it like this, it'll be fine, just sitting in there, okay? Get as much air out as possible. Okay, so here's what we want to do. If you have a paper towel at home, that will work great. If you don't have paper towel, a squirt bottle might work with no paper towel, but I'll just show you this. So paper towel, we're gonna get it damp. It's really important it's not wet. This is wet. Damp means I'm squeezing it out as much as I can. So squeeze this out as hard as you can. And then I'm going to open it back up, and this is what we call a damp paper towel. So as little moisture in there as possible. I'm gonna give it one more squeeze. Okay, once I've got a damp paper towel, I can wrap this around the outside of my head, and that'll just keep a little bit of moisture in. If it doesn't fit all the way around, it's fine. It's okay if there's a little spot showing. It's just to add a little moisture. I would not wrap it more than once. So if you have a really small one, like my No Drama Llama, I'm not gonna sit here and wrap it and wrap it and wrap it, okay? Instead, what I would probably do is just rip off a half a piece and use the amount that seems right for the size of the head I made, okay? Once you've wrapped it in that damp paper towel, you need to get your trash bag that I gave you, and if you lost it, or if you're using this as like a tablecloth, you gotta get a new one. Really important that you keep these airtight. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna open my bag up, and my hand is inside right now, all the way in the corner, right? So take your project, put it all the way into the corner. That's the easiest way to get it airtight. Once it's in the corner, that's my No Drama Llama. I can twist this. I don't have to tie it, knot it, because you'll rip your bag then when you undo it. Just twist it, and then all this extra stuff, this just becomes like a little nest that it can sit in when I put it away. If you have more than one piece, which you will soon, you need to wrap them, try to wrap them just in the same bag, but in a separate place. So now I've got my head and I've got my llama in here. So what I'm gonna do is actually, I'm gonna make it kind of like a sausage. I'm gonna twist here and then put the head in. I could put it in a separate corner, or I can put it right after that twist. So I can put my head here, right by my llama head, and then twist again. So now I've created two little air, not very much air in these two pockets. Or you can put it in the other corner, whatever works. But what's most important is that when you're putting your projects away for the day, you need to twist it enough that no air is gonna get in there. If you wanna tie a knot, you can, but I don't do that because sometimes I feel like I rip the bag when I unknot it. Okay, and then carefully, without damaging them, you're gonna put them, I have a shoebox, right? So I think this is great because all I have to do is gently put these in the corner of my shoebox, and I don't have to worry about my dog getting to it or anything because I'm gonna put this box up on a shelf. So that's how you would wrap your projects up. And then don't forget, when you go to wash your tools, I didn't have a video of this, so I'll just show it now. When you go to wash your tools, remember you're not putting them in the sink, and you're not even dipping them in this water. Instead, you're taking your sponge and just gently sponging off all the clay you can. Sometimes you have to use your fingernail if it got a little dried on there, or another tool, right? And clean them up. I would let these dry out before you stick them in your bag. If you start putting wet tools in a plastic bag, they're gonna get funky. Don't do that, okay? So just leave them out, and then you can put them in there later. That's if yours are really wet. If they're not very wet, you can probably put them in there right away. And I recommend cleaning all your tools. This is air dry clay. It gets really hard. So if you leave a chunk on one of these, the next class you come, this could be harder to clean, more difficult. So clean it all up, and then remember, you can see in my bucket, there's some stuff down here. There's some clay down here. This cannot go in your drain. It cannot go in your sink. So the easiest place is to go dump this outside, or I can dump the water down the sink and then scoop that stuff out, just put it in the trash. Okay, so that's how you want to clean that up. Any little dust particles, so I don't know if you can see, but on my table I've got like little bits and pieces of clay. So you can, without creating a lot of dust, you can take a damp cloth or sponge. Even your little one will work for now. Sponge up all your little bits, put those all in the trash. You don't want that dry stuff getting into your good clay. It'll create little chunks in there that are really troublesome. So that's how I would recommend cleaning up. And then if it's me, I'm putting everything back into my shoebox. And then I've got my little shoebox I can store on a shelf, and I'm done. Okay, remember your hands, you should wash them here first with a sponge, dry them off, then go to the sink and finish up your cleaning. So I hope that helps you learn how to wrap things up and to clean up.